The good news is that we have startups everywhere in Europe, literally everywhere. Not just the big countries, also the small countries, not just the big cities, also the small cities. The lesser good news is that it is not enough. We need to have scale-ups, meaning we need to have startups that produce the only two things that matter, that are employment and revenue. So only this way we can have really innovation in Europe, and we can support the GDP growth.
Facility Live is a company that raised 30 million euros by private capital with a different model from the Silicon Valley model, and we choose 3 years ago to stay in Italy, stay in Europe, to compete globally, starting from a small town in Italy. So I think that things are possible now that before were not.
The European Union can really become the place for companies not only to be founded, but also to grow. For that, they need talent. So we are fighting to introduce a European startup visa, which will create a unified regime all across Europe for the digital single market, for talent to be attracted and to be retained.
We are still 28 countries and not one single market. And for a startup that is aiming at growing Europe, moving from country A to country B is still painful, and so most of them at a certain point decide to scale up in the US because they find a large single market. If we could have a large single market also in Europe, practical and accessible, probably we should have definitely better and more success cases of startups in Europe.
Later this year, Mrs. Bieńkowska, the Commissioner, will come up with a startup initiative coming to the committees, and we will support her in a combination of measures. And this is early debate in the EIF circle.